You know something? I'm impressed. With the wave of pretty great video game movies that we've gotten in the last few years, it's both surprising and very unsurprising that this one turned out as horrible as it did. It's like this generation's Super Mario Bros. Movie. The one from the 90s, not the one that just came out. Hi everybody, Anthony here from Awesome Anthony Productions, and today I'm going to give you my review of Borderlands. But before we get started, you know exactly what to do. At the end of the video, if you think I've earned it, please leave a like, subscribe, and ring that bell so you never miss any of my new reviews. Now let's get into it. Borderlands, completely ignoring the story from the first game, stars Cate Blanchett as Lilith, a mercenary that's hired by a wealthy man to find his daughter, Tiny Tina, played by Ariana Greenblatt, after she's broken out of a prison by ex-military man Roland, played here by Kevin Hart. They all end up on the planet of Pandora, no, not that Pandora, accompanied by the psychopathic Krieg, played by Florian Montaño.
Boy, I really hope somebody got fired for that blunder.
The incessantly positive motor-mouthed robot, Claptrap, voiced by Jack Black, and the quirky weirdo scientist Tannis, played by Jamie Lee Curtis. Together, these unlikely companions will venture out into the wasteland of Pandora to solve one of the planet's greatest mysteries. Whoop-de-freaking-do. Look, I'm just gonna come out and say, if you're a fan of Borderlands, played those games, whatever, in any way, shape, or form, skip this movie.
Okay, I don't want to watch this, guys.
The only things that I can say seem very authentic to the games are the characterization and lines of Claptrap. I think Jack Black did a great job with that.
Would you look at that? A ladder! Unfortunately, my design doesn't facilitate this type of...
And the look of the setting, but besides that, everything here was either watered down, changed, or just ignored completely. The story here, instead of borrowing from the games and expanding on that, just throws in a ton of cliches. Like we got the girl who's the key to everything, the reluctant heroine that returns to her home, the unlikely band of misfits teaming up to survive. It just takes all of those cliches and throws even more of them at the wall to see what sticks. And in the process of that, just completely forgets and forgoes everything that makes Borderlands special in the first place.
I'm a disappointment. Apparently.
Especially when it comes to the characters. Roland's no longer a stoic badass, instead he was completely rewritten to fit Kevin Hart's comedic style, and if this was just another typical Kevin Hart movie that wouldn't be a problem. I actually don't mind Kevin Hart, I think he's pretty funny, but here it just really does not fit. He just makes dumb joke after dumb joke and runs around screaming.
It's Pete. It's Pete. Why do you think it's called Piss Wash? How did I get the name?
Now for Lilith and Tannis, no disrespect to Jamie Lee Curtis and Cate Blanchett, I think they're both great actresses and I've enjoyed so many of their movies, but they were both completely miscast here, with the most obvious of reasons being that they're way too old for this role. The characters are supposed to be like in their 20s. Blanchett just plays this too straight, completely losing that sense of fun from the games, while Curtis is on the opposite end, being way too over the top with her quirkiness for the character to really work outside of just being a joke.
I needed a gun.
Ariana Greenblatt has a little bit of fun as Tiny Tina, but outside of her proclivity for explosives and the occasional hyperactive outburst,
time to make it rain with your body parts.
she has hardly anything in common with her truly insane video game counterpart, and don't even get me started on the new backstory she has here.
This is wrong. It's all wrong.
As for Krieg, he definitely acts like a psycho, and Florian Montaño is definitely intimidating and has the muscle and the stature for it, but just having him turn into muscle for Tina completely robs him of any strong characterization he could have had here. Yeah, the characters alone here were disappointing enough without even mentioning their sheer lack of character development and emotional stakes, but I'm gonna move on from that now.
Well, it's about time.
Outside of the butchered characters, except for Claptrap and the fact that the story has nothing to do with the games, they completely neutered one of the most interesting things from the games that could have made this a hell of a lot more fun. The weapons! It adds so much to the replay value and the fun of that game to just have an arsenal of unique weapons that all have their own distinct attacks, ammunition, whatever.
I need guns.
Okay, which ones?
I need all the guns!
Alright, okay.
But they were such a small part of the movie here, that was almost as disappointing as the fact that they fumbled all the characters. There's maybe, I don't know, 5 different guns here? Now, I could go on and on and on about the insulting differences between the game and the movie, but what if you're just a casual watcher that wants to spend an hour and a half out of the house and go see a movie? Yeah, it still sucks. This is one of the most generic, play-it-safe action comedies I've ever seen, completely neutering and distorting director Eli Roth's original vision for a movie that's far more in line with the games with a hard R rating and over-the-top violence, instead replacing it with a cliched mess of a story with awful CGI and just way too many poop jokes for some reason.
What's happening right now?
I'm expelling the excess lead. I can't go if you're looking at me.
Apparently, last year while Roth was shooting some pickup scenes for Thanksgiving, Lionsgate decided to do some rewrites and bring in Deadpool's Tim Miller for reshoots. And as far as my research tells me, this movie is completely different from what Eli Roth intended to do, instead just kind of feeling like a knockoff of Guardians of the Galaxy. It was almost like the studio heads at Lionsgate were watching the success of Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 3 and said, screw all of our plans for Borderlands, let's do that. But it has none of the heart and charm that those movies do. There's hardly even a story here, honestly. It's just an excuse to get these terribly miscast characters together and rush from one action set piece with terrible CGI to the next. And when I say rush, I mean rush. Instead of something like, oh, I don't know, what's a good example? Deadpool and Wolverine, that has a fast pace, but still gives these characters a chance to slow down, talk, share some emotional stuff, and get some character development out there. This movie is so fast paced and so all over the place with the action set pieces and the terrible CGI that you'll hardly have room to catch your breath, and neither do the characters. I could keep going for probably another hour, but the main point that I'm trying to make here is that this isn't really a movie that I recommend to anybody. It completely ignores everything that made the games great in the first place, so fans of the games will 100% hate it. It's a total assault on the eyes, ears, and brain, so movie buffs also won't enjoy it. But for the casual moviegoers that don't really analyze anything, they might enjoy it in the moment, but I guarantee they'd forget it within a few days. We have a new contender for Worst of the Year, folks, joining the ranks with Argyle, The Strangers Chapter 1, and, of course, Madam Web. And that's my review of Borderlands. Thank you so much for watching. If you like this review, you know exactly what to do. I said it at the beginning. Please leave a like, subscribe, and ring that bell so you never miss any of my new reviews. While you're at it, you can scroll down in the description, find the links to my socials, leave a comment, let me know if you're one of the few people that saw this movie, because it's a total flop, and what you thought. And if you want more of my content, you can click or tap on these cards right here. I'll take you to my review of Trap, or over to my channel where you can check out the rest of my reviews and my shorts. Thanks for watching, everybody. I am probably already in Scotland by the time this is posted, but I have the other one that I'm working on right now. My next review will be Cuckoo. See you then.